Hey, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you're connecting from. And welcome to day two of the Grand Monte Literacy event. I'm Yoshito Damachimamori, your host. And so it's the second day, and I know some of you are catching up on yesterday's session. So I would like to reassure you and remind you that all these interviews are going to stay on my YouTube channel. But if you're particularly interested in a topic and would like to ask your own questions, make sure to join live so you can ask your questions directly to the experts. And also, if you're interested in a prize that one of our speakers are giving away, make sure to comment so you don't need necessarily to join live, but you need to put comments or questions, and all of our guests said they would answer questions. So feel free to do so if you have, oops, if you have anything you want to tell them, questions, comments, just a thank you, so that you can qualify for the prize entry. And also, so if you have questions, etc., I'm going to send everything in block to them next week, so they don't have to come back every time. So I do it in one go. So if you have questions or comments, make sure to share them by next Saturday, and that will also help you enter the giveaway. Uh, yeah. Also, so just to remind you, we have 15 books. So I have some of them here from our authors. So you have already, so these from Sarah Lois Dorai. You have the interview already online. This one for parents of French, English, bilingual children. It's a book that's written in English and French. Um, and so I interviewed the author, Dr. Amy Johansson, so you can watch the video as well. And of course, you have so for preteens and teens, and this one especially um, on the topic of this event, which is how we can teach our children to read and write through games. And also a last reminder, there is this book that's free at the moment on Amazon. It's from Dr. Ute Limacher-Ribolt and Ana Elisa Miranda. They made it free to support this event, so take advantage of this. So if you go to Amazon, it will be free. And yes, and then except the books, there are also two sets of resources. One family or school consultation, and also, of course, I'm giving away an author visit on multilingual superpowers. So if you're interested in any of these, make sure to enter the giveaway by filling out the form. All the links are in the description. And so now, what are we going to talk about today? We have one, two, three, four sessions that are going to be very interesting. So we're going to start with the science of writing. So yesterday we talked about the science of reading. Today we dig deeper in the sense of writing. So what to do, not to do when a child starts to read and write. So it will be with Dr. Chang Un. She has been working with Chinese and Spanish and maybe other languages, but at least these two. So we'll be able to talk about different scripts as well. And then I'll be doing a session so on my own to talk about something that yesterday as well, some of our speakers said was very difficult. It's when we are parents and we want to teach our own children. So Dr. Correa, Ibrahim, Dr. Deval, and Dr. Shanti all said that it's quite difficult. Even if we're teachers, it's difficult to teach our own children. So I'm going to explain how I did with my sons, and hopefully you'll be able to pick up some tips. And of course, if you have questions about your situation, feel free to join and let me know. And then we carry on with an interview with the former early years coordinator. We'll talk about how children learn to read and write in schools in England, because as parents, it's always useful to know how our children are doing things at school so we can do the same with our languages at home. Whether it's about reading and writing or talking about different topics, etc., it's always useful. But here, reading and writing, there is a lot involved in it. to not overwhelm our children, to make sure the journey is smooth and enjoyable. So if you want to join because your child goes to school in England or is in a British international school, yeah, come and join us and ask your questions. And then we finish with a topic. It was a question that was asked, probably the, uh, the most from parents who have teenagers. It's how can I motivate my teenager to read or write in our home language? So we're going to talk about this with Amanda Sean-Blodgett, who is an expert in motivating children. So she teaches Chinese, but the techniques are applicable to any language. So if you have teenagers or you have preteens and you see that your children are pushing back a bit, come and join us to see how we can do it. And yeah, so today all of our guests are offering books and resources. So I invite you to check out the program and see how to enter the giveaway. I also explained it yesterday in the video when I showed you on the screen how to do it. So in the introductory session of day one, you can see how you can enter the giveaways. And of course, all the links are in the description. So that's all for now. And I see you very soon. So we start at 11:30. Right now it's 11:07 in England. So at 11:30, we're going to start with the science of writing.